Do you have questions on your financial strategies for your business or your family? It is tough sometimes to process all the information and the noise out there when it comes to taxes, retirement plans, college planning for your children, investing in uncertain times, and protecting you and your loved ones with the right insurance. Diamond State Financial Group specializes in working with individuals and helping them simplify their comprehensive financial picture. They go beyond the basics and help clients like myself look at their current financial position, their dreams, their goals, and the lives that they would like to live, and help them plan to achieve all that they would like to achieve in life. They also consult with business owners like myself to help them think through many of the same strategies, as well as provide comprehensive business consulting engagements to help them maximize the value of the hard work they put in to build their business. One of the primary sources of stress in our lives is questions about money. Consider a conversation with an advisor to see if it makes sense to let them help you through it. Call Greg Carroll to set up a complimentary, no obligation conversation at 302-366-0366, or you could even text questions to 302-956-9878. Securities offered through Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, member FINRA-SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cetera Investment Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my Level Up listeners. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to be talking about exchanges. Every single thing you want to create in your life requires, an exchange. So like if you want this, you have to do that. That's the way it is, okay? So what I love so much about the network marketing profession, I just love the network marketing profession, okay? I love so many things about it. I said yes for the income potential. I said yes for the potential, not the probable. I bet on me. I believed in me. I wanted time flexibility. I wanted to travel. I wanted to own my own life. I wanted to provide for my family. I wanted to be more and become more. I wanted to determine my worth. I wanted to decide how I spent my days. I wanted to be there when the ones I loved needed me. I wanted to be available. But here's the thing. We all want things, right? And the word wanting in and of itself is actually very low vibing. Okay, because we could all want things, but do we expect things? Because expectant is a whole different level of vibing. But we think about what we want, but we have to know realistically, like we're really smart people. We have to know that that requires something. We're not just going to wake up one day, plug in our coffee, start a business and be like, yay, I'm living life on my terms. No, and I see a lot of that. Like I see a lot of people on social media and it's like, working every day from my phone. But I'm thinking, are you really working every day from your phone? Because you're not really living the dream life yet. Okay. So these things don't happen. And what happens is people try to have these things before they earn it. And I don't mean like earn it in a status, but like have the business that warrants them to have these things. Now, I want to be very, very, very clear. I'm not implying on any level that like, oh, you're going to build to these levels, you're going to earn this stuff, and then you're going to arrive. One of the major reasons why my business is so solid is that for 18 years, I have worked my business. I understand that a network marketing business is primarily made up of a lot of people doing a little, right? A lot of people. That's the great thing. It's like you're not just selling, you're teaching and training other people how to sell. But I also understand that people quit. I also understand that rock stars can enter at any time and you want to be wide and solid without them. I know this business and I love this business. Okay. So what I'm going to go over today are a few things that most people want. Okay. And like want, I want you to visualize in capital letters and parentheses. I'm going to go over some things that most people want, but you must understand what you actually need to do to create them. I don't even know. I just jotted down a few things. I don't have numbers next to them. So maybe I'll go through the numbers and see if I can remember where I left off, but otherwise you write the numbers. Okay. Number one, people want to own their life. Now that has a different definition for everyone. What owning, I don't want to commute. I didn't want to work for anybody else, and to each their own. Okay. I did not want to have a boss. I did not want to be told what I was worth. I did not want to be told how many weeks vacation I had. I did not that if something happened to somebody really close to me, they'd be like, oh, you have 2 days off. You can't be with the ones you love. I did not want to be told when I could go away, when I could see my kids, I wanted to own my life. And so owning my life to me meant choices. They meant choices. And so what do you need to do if you want to own your life, whatever that looks like for you? You need to take ownership for your business. It blows my mind how many people are like, I'm waiting for that person to send me an email on what to do and remind me of all the meetings and tell like I wish you guys could see my face right now. Like I make my own facial expressions. Okay. Take ownership, learn your business, learn our industry, learn about your products. You learn. You have an ID. Do you know about them? Learn how to crush a business overview. Do you know how to? Know the sales and promotions that you need to grow and lead your team to the next level. Don't rely on anyone. You know what really, one of my biggest pet peeves in this business, and I'm saying this with so much love, I do understand that it is very helpful to have an amazing, committed leader in this business. Like it absolutely makes a difference, right? Especially if you're not a self-starter. But it really is amazing to me how many people will say, you know, my business is not that good because the person above me quit or the person above me is not doing so much. Really? If you want to own your life, you're over 18 years old. You're an adult. You can figure this out. And let me tell you something. There's somebody above them or above them or above them or above them that's very committed to this business. So if you want to own your life, don't shop around for people who you think are going to do more for you in this business. You want to own your life, own your success, and own it. Okay? Own it. Own your mindset. Own your goals. Own your energy. Okay? Number two, people really want to have time flexibility. Gosh, they want to have time flexibility. I love time flexibility. I go to bed when I want. I get up when I want. The only time, now I'm pretty much an early riser, but the only time I really have to set an alarm, like I left recently to go to Costa Rica. I had to set an alarm for 2 a.m. because my car service was coming at 3. And believe it or not, I didn't even have to set an alarm because my body knew to get up somehow 1:50. But if you want to have flexibility, you need to make sacrifices. You need to be willing to be unflexible. There was things that I missed. I had to say no. I shouldn't say I had to. I said no to everything that wasn't in alignment with where I was leading my team and my business. For example, like we started this business and every Sunday night at 9:00, there was a call. Nothing else. No matter what me and my family did, we were home Sunday night at 9:00. I could never expect to build a large organization. If I'm not on, they won't be on. If there was a meeting, we did these 2 in-person meetings a month. They were on the calendar, no matter what was going on. One of those meetings, which I've told the story many times, was Brooke was turning 7. And we had our training that we drove to. And I already promised her that I wouldn't work on her birthday because I was working 7 days a week. Guess what? I took her to that meeting on my birthday. And some people were like, I wouldn't do that. Okay, I'm not here to judge, but chances are you might not have my business. Certainly not in the time frame that I built it. If you want flexibility, you need to be unflexible for a period of time. And let me tell you something, my whole family was on board. My kids were on board. Everybody was on board because I wasn't just winning for me. I was winning for them. So to have flexibility, you need to be, people are like, oh, I can't get on. I have this or I have that. That's totally fine. But please don't expect to have flexibility when you are not willing to actually do what it takes, what this incredible industry takes to build it to the likes that you have the potential. Okay. Number 3. Well, I'm remembering the numbers here, you guys, but I don't know how far that's going to go. People say, I want to quit my job. I want to quit my job. Now, what I love so much about an industry like this is it's an end business. You can build a network marketing business and you can work a full-time job. Now, some people never want to leave their full-time job. Some people like, yeah, I'm going to work on my business alongside my plan A so I could quit my plan A. I want choices. I say it all the time. When I was in corporate, I was one of those people that are like, I will never quit my corporate job. Never, 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 till I had Brooke. I had my baby. I held her in my arms and I was like, I don't want to go back to my corporate job. But guess what? I didn't have choices and network marketing was not in my life at that time. So I went back to work. But if you're somebody that wants to walk away from your job, treat what you have like a business. Like a business. Hobbies are really expensive. Okay. Businesses make money. So treat it like a job so it could end up being your profession. Treat it like you have a boss. Be stricter with your time. I know it's one more thing in your busy life. I get it. It's one more thing to make you out of balance. I hear you. But you have to kind of sit in that quiet moment and kind of ask yourself the question, if I want to quit my job and this is what I make, what's the level of effort do I really think I need to do? What do I need to exchange? What am I willing to do to create that? How bad do you want to quit your job? Okay. Number 4, a lot of times people say, I want to be able to afford a new home, a different home. I want to afford to be able to pay for college. I want to be able to not worry about the cost of things. You know what that takes? It takes thinking like an entrepreneur and not an employee. You can't make like you're punching a time clock. When people say I'm going to work this business, into the nooks and crannies of my day. Yeah, nooks and crannies of the day. That it's not buying you a new home. It's not paying for college, and it's not going to remove the worry about the cost of things. It takes more than the nooks and crannies. It takes more than 30 minutes a day. It takes more than an hour a day. You can build something solid over time in that amount with that little time, but you're not going to build something big. You're just not. I mean, and there's people that I build it into the nooks and crannies of my life. I build it when I feel like it. It's not going to be something that big. So if you want something that big, like one of the things that I did is I wrote on a piece of paper $1 million because I knew even with merit that my kids were getting approximately when Brooke started at 6 and I was like putting 4 kids through college is approximately going to cost $1 million. And I remember thinking every time I was like, felt like I was getting lazy or I didn't feel like doing something, I'd be like, what are you actually really willing to do for $1 million? Like it takes driving all different places. It takes selling the dream over and over again, sometimes to the same people. It takes getting on airplanes. It takes packing a calendar. It takes saying no to things. It takes being committed. It takes showing up when you don't feel like it. I mean, we're not talking about chump change. I'm not talking about making $100 a month. Okay. So if you want these things, it's an exchange and you have to be willing to make that exchange. One of the things we talk about all the time is like when people don't do what it really takes, number 1, they either tried to bargain with the price, right? Or they just didn't want it bad enough. So if you want it bad enough, you cannot be willing to bargain with the price of what it takes to create that life. Number 5, set goals and achieve them. So like it's setting goals and achieving them. So you might be someone who says, I really want to set goals. I really want to achieve goals. Then you have to treat your goals like you work for someone. You have to treat those goals like you have no other option. Like you have to treat those goals that if you didn't meet them, you're going to get fired. You have to treat those goals like if you don't meet them, you are not going to be able to pay your mortgage. It amazes me how many people are willing to work harder for someone else than they are for themselves. Right? Like they set a goal and it's like, oh, got busy at work or I got busy with my kids. If you want to be that person that sets goals and achieves them, you need to build that discipline. People follow energy. People follow commitment. People follow vision. People can shop around today. They can decide. It's almost like a rapid dating. They can decide what company they're going to join, what business they're going to join, what person they want to join. No one owes us anything. And I'm so passionate about being ethical in our industry. Like if somebody says, I want to know more about your business, I'll say like, are you already talking to somebody in my company? Because if you're already talking to somebody in my company, then you should go back to them. But here's the thing. Just because someone talked to someone doesn't mean they have to join that person. Right? I've heard so many times that, like I've had a conversation with someone, but they're not working the business. They're not taking this seriously. So I want you to understand that just because you spoke to someone, you don't have a claim on someone. So people are always going to refer back, or they should refer back, but it's up to you to give people a reason to join you. And that takes moving. It takes growing. It takes being excited. The person that I joined in my business casted a vision, and that vision was big and it was bold. And I saw myself in her vision. Her vision was big enough to have me in it. And that's why I joined. If someone would have just shared the products with me, I wouldn't be here. If someone didn't have a big vision enough for me to be in that vision, I wouldn't have joined. If you want bigger players, it's time to be bigger. Okay, number 6. If you want to be the leader who shows up like someone that people really want to follow, like we all want to like kind of be like someone, right? Or the best version of ourselves, then you know what that requires? It requires showing up all the time. And honestly, what you're wearing matters. What you're wearing matters. Somebody could say something's business casual. Now, I'm going to be really honest. Everybody rocks jeans a little bit differently. Some people could put on jeans and a blazer and a shirt and look like $1,000,000. And then somebody else tries to do that and it's not working. It's not working. You want to put yourself together and walk out like you are the person leading that meeting. And that doesn't, you could say, like, I'm not there income wise yet. Who is Debbie Neal to say that? You can dress professionally and amazing on a budget. You can. So your outfit matters. Your hair matters. It does. Like, you have one opportunity to make a first impression. You are creating your brand. So if you want to be the leader that shows up like just that person people want to follow, you need to become that. You need to exchange who you are. I love when people say, I'm just being so authentic to myself. Well, what does that mean? Because if that authentic version is not put together, little bit sloppy, looks like they just fell off a truck from Lord knows where, yeah, you're being authentic, but you're going to attract that same exact thing in your business. You're not going to attract somebody who's like put together, professional, looking for something really big. You're not. Okay. So number 7, people want to have choices. People want to have choices. That's why a lot of times they say yes to this business. But to have choices requires you giving up choices. To be more, if you want to be more, then become more. Train in the dark. Some days I work in my pajamas. I'm making calls. I'm doing whatever. I'm working in my pajamas. But you know how I was able to do that? I worked my butt off for so long, getting in the car. There was sometimes I was in so much activity. I was like, oh my gosh, I literally have 2 different shoes on. Or I think I wore these pants 2 days in a row. I was traveling to different states. I was traveling to different countries. And I still do those things, building teams and relationships. I wanted to build those roots. And so I wanted to have choices. And choices to me meant like, gosh, my son is now running Ironmans. I want to be able to say yes to every single race and get on a plane. I'm getting on a plane in 2 weeks to go see him run an Ironman in Florida. That's a choice to me. It's a choice to me that I remember my daughter freshman year. She's now engaged and marrying the love of her life. But when she broke up with her boyfriend, when she called me up and said, I need you, I had the choice to get in my car and go. I had the choice to be at my son's college games, even when they fell during the week. I had the choice to do all of these things because I gave up choices to create choices. You have to remember that every single thing is an exchange. And sometimes too early in our business, people are like, well, I can't be on here. There's a game and I really want to be at the game. And I started this business to have choices. Yeah, you started the business to have choices, but you have to earn choices. And you want to enroll your family because you're going to have to miss things to create the life you want. And some people are like, well, I'm not willing to. That's fine. But let's get really clear on what it takes to really have a life of choices. Number 8, I can't believe I'm remembering these numbers in a row. Okay. People say, I want to build to the top. I want to build to the top of my company. I hear that very often. So here's the exchange. You need to become urgent. When are you building to the top? Live in your word. Be the energy you wish to see. If you want success, you need to give up safety of your comfort zone, safety of not letting your heart out, safety of avoid being vulnerable, safety of the unknown. You have to burn the boats. It takes going back not an option. It requires leaving the shore and burning the boat that you can take back to your stuff of next month I'll do it. The boat that says next year I'll do it. The boat that says another time. The boat that will lead you back to your excuses. Stop. Life is a blip. It's a moment in time. What do you want your life to look like? Who are where you are because of the choices you've made up till this point. Where you will be at the end of the year and next year are going to be a result of the choices you're making right now. You have to give up a good life for a great life. Don't justify where you are. When you live a good life and you justify it, that's a really dangerous place to be. If you want more, you have to give up good for great. You do that by stepping away from the crowd. You cannot aim for average to be extraordinary. Do more than what is required. Be the hardest working person. Have the biggest vision. Be the most urgent. It's an exchange. Give up your fear and walk in faith. We hold ourselves back because we focus on the fear of what could go wrong. Have faith in the unseen. Have faith that there is a greater life waiting for you. If you want to be filled with faith, you have to have the courage to stand in your dreams. Most people don't. They give up long-term success for short-term comfort, for short-term justification. If you want the life that you're destined to have, you can create it in this industry. You just can't do it with the same habits that you have now, the same mindset, the same goals, the same urgency, the same energy. It takes more. You have it in you. You all do. The question is, are you ready to exchange who you are for who you're meant to be?